माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय जय कुंज गोपी जना वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जनरंजन जय ब्रज जनरंजन जय यमुना तिरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी यमुना तिरवनचारी राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय यमुना तिरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय कुंज बिहारी चारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण राम हरे राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Jai Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madan Mohan. Jai Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madan Mohan. Jaya Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Jagannath Swami, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमावों विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiraye nashtaprayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavat uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naisthiki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopakumaraya govindaya namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Because our Hinjawadi community is coming to a very ripe point where Space Madan Sundar told me that very soon a land is going to come, and a temple is going to manifest. So I thought I will speak something on how a community develops and some of the elements of the community, which will be very, I thought, very helpful for the devotees who are actively involved in the building of the community. If you observe our movement, ISKCON movement, how it all started. When Srila Prabhupada went to America, way back in 1965, the early days, probably 1 year, I think, almost 1 year, practically, despite Prabhupada's very hard work, preaching, nothing was moving. His godbrothers told him, better you come back, life is very difficult for you in America. We are all living in Vrindavan happily. You are an old man. This is no time to waste your time in a country like West in America, where people are, eating cow flesh and drinking wine and everything. You come and stay with us, just enjoy in Vrindavan and peacefully, chant Krishna Rama Govinda, go back to Godhead. So many of his God brothers very lovingly wrote mail to him. In those days, snail mail. But Prabhupada was very daring personality. He said to one of the disciples later, my Guru has sent me to preach in America. And even if I die in America, I have no worry. You can bury me in the rooftop of a building in Manhattan, he said. No, I will die preaching in America till my last breath. I'm not going to give it up. He had a very bold spirit. So there is one Harvey Cox, one very great philosopher and writer and professor. In Introduction to Leela he says that Prabhupada was a 1 in a million, he says. Because the kind of spirit in old age that he had, his age was touching 70. And when he went to America, crossing the ocean to a foreign land where he does not know people, and the languages, the people have different accent, and he had a very highly Bengali accent in English, and also not having facility for food and everything. He has to cook himself. You can't eat anything in that land. And he was very pure and advanced Vaishnava devotee. So Harvey Cox says, this is the meaning of a missionary man. He says, missionary means one goes to a foreign land where you don't even know the language. And you go to give some message about God to the people, suffering people, and give them, opportunity to come closer to God. And you don't care about your comforts. You don't care about your accommodation, food, clothing, anything. You just depend on God. Leave everything to Him. So, when one takes up practicing and preaching God consciousness in this mood, something great can happen. So 1 year, nothing was happening much. One day, Prabhupada was so desperate. One of the days, it was a rainy day and chill winter day. Nobody came. Sometimes 2, 3 boys would come. Otherwise, nobody would come. And people kept on changing. It was a floating crowd. Not many people. Nobody was becoming fixed up devotees. One of the days, Prabhupada thought nobody has come, still I will speak to the four walls, my Guru told me. His Guru told him, if nobody comes for the lecture, what do you do? preached to the four walls. So he just put on the recorder and recorded, and that became the introduction to Bhagavad Gita. Can you imagine? Huh? He spoke with nobody. So one of the days, in great desperation, Prabhupada went out in the park and he said, "Nobody is coming to my room, so I better go to find out the people." Like you all know, when you get sick, where do you go? You go to doctor. When you are too sick, then doctor comes to see you. Correct? Now he comes to your house. So Prabhupada said, Kali Yuga Vasis are so sick, I have to go and find them. I can't sit in a room and say, Swamiji is here, all of you come here. They won't come. So therefore our movement is called the door-to-door movement. Prati gare gare giya koro yehi bhiksha. Bolo Krishna bhajo Krishna karo Krishna shiksha. Mahaprabhu says, Nityananda and Haridas, people in Kali Yuga are too sickly. You go door to door, tap the door and tell them about chanting holy name and reading Gita and all that. Another song also says, Adama patita jiver dware dware giya Hari nama maha mantra deno bilaya. It says, Lord Nityananda would go to door to very, very fallen people. Fallen people means they were meat eaters, they were drinking wine and all kinds of bad habits. Still he would go to the door, batter the door, request them to chant, request them to read Gita, worship Krishna, and preach to them. He didn't order them. He would fold the palms and request them. He understood that people in Kali Yuga are very materialistic and they are very proud of their greatness, and we have to actually take a humble role. If somebody wouldn't chant, he would bow down and do namaskar and beg them, please chant the holy name. Still they wouldn't chant, he would roll on the ground. Nityananda Prabhu would do that. So Prabhupada also understood that I better go to the park where a lot of boys and girls hang around. So he went to the park and had a small drum, you all know that, right? With that he was beating that. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the secretary is still there in the same place. There's a board put up there. This is the secretary where Swamiji came and sang, and all the hippies got connected. So many of the boys, girls brought their instruments, they started playing. That's how the movement started. They were charmed by the chant of the holy name. Because the holy name was very calming to their minds, cleansing their minds. Most importantly, the holy name awakens the sleeping soul. Just like you have an alarm clock in the morning. What does alarm clock do? It wakes up a sleeping body. And the holy name is a spiritual item. Therefore, it wakes up the sleeping soul. Alarm clock can only wake up the body. Get up, it says. The holy name wakes up the sleeping soul. So, when Prabhupada sang the holy name, the souls got woken up. People became enlivened by the holy name. And they followed him to the storefront, matchless gift shop storefront. So Prabhupada then started 3 days a week classes, like like Tuesday, Thursday, like that, Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, like that, 3 days, alternate days. See how Prabhupada goes step by step. First, you wake up the sleeping souls by the holy name. After that, give them the wisdom wisdom to give them the vision based on the scripture, which is called Shastra Chakshu, we call it. Shastra Chakshu means like you have the spectacles with which you see the world, isn't it? So you give them the Shastric specs to see the world around. What is the meaning of that? For example, if you see a dog in the road, what you should think? Oh, poor Jiva has misused his free will. He's suffering in the body of a dog. Let me give some prasadam. One should think like that. Mhm. And you find some great saint like, sannyasi or somebody. Oh, here is another pure spirit soul who is seated in the body of a sannyasi. Uh, so let me take blessings. Bow down. So one should see everything. Like you see the road, people are running fastly in their vehicles, very moving back and forth. Oh, the material world is driven by passion. All living beings are running. Prabhupada said material world is filled with lazies and crazies, he said. Lazy means tamaguna. Crazy means rajaguna. Yeah. And rosy means sataguna. Because sataguna is like a rose, fragrant and very tender. So Prabhupada saw America was full of lazies and crazies because of the culture. People were running passionately, everything. But when he started going to the park and singing holy name, some people started coming regularly. And then he started giving them the knowledge, wisdom, and to give the vision to them. Yeah. That's the second thing he did. First, he woke up the sleeping soul. Now the souls are willing to hear. When they heard, he gave them the vision to see the world, how to see properly, how to see things as they are. Just like when these lights are on, we all can see each other, isn't it? Imagine if the lights are off, it is pitch dark, you'll be afraid. There may be a snake or a scorpion or something, you have fear. So when lights are on, you don't have any fear. So when he gave them the vision, the hippies uh, started adopting a purer lifestyle, learning from Srila Prabhupada, proper lifestyle, chanting the holy name, following the four regs, uh, coming to the classes regularly, dealing with one another appropriately. And the more the wisdom dawned in their hearts, they started seeing everybody else as a spirit soul, with Krishna in the center. They started offering obeisances to each other, calling us Prabhu. And in this way, the respectful dealing started. Hmm. And they started relishing knowledge about Krishna, who is the creator of the universe, is the essence of everything, is the master of everything. He is the friend of every living being. When they heard that knowledge, on one hand, they got the knowledge, on the other hand, they got experience also. Whenever I conduct a retreat, at the end, I ask the students in America, three things I ask them. What is your takeaway? What is your experience? And what is your commitment? Hmm. Commitment, especially chanting. Huh? So these three things you ask after every retreat. So takeaway means for the head. Some knowledge you got and you're carrying home with you, which you like, you may implement in your life. And experience is of the heart, isn't it? So for the hippies, what was the experience? The sweet kirtans, uh, delicious prasad, especially ISKCON bullets. Anybody knows which is ISKCON bullet? Huh? Gulab jamuns. Yeah, that's called ISKCON bullet. And which are ISKCON bombs? You know that? Prabhupada said, books are the bombs. They're like time bomb, he said. Why time bomb? Most people purchase books and they keep it in the cupboard. After 2, 3 years, when sometimes they're frustrated, they will take it and read it. Then they become devotees. Huh? So they act like time bomb. They wait for the time to be read. So, in this way, Prabhupada gave them Indian cuisine, prasadam experience, kirtan experience, and ISKCON culture also. Ladies started wearing saris and men started wearing dhoti kurta. They learned how to wear the tilak, kantimala, uh, and they were amazed with this cultural aspect also. They felt, oh, dhoti, so you feel so light. Generally, yeah, everybody has been wearing jeans for a long time. You wear dhoti, you will realize how it is, isn't it? Women and men, all of them learn the cultural aspects. So, uh, in this way, the lifestyle, pure habits, and sattva experience, it made their hearts very light, and they experienced chanting of the holy name with Krishna in the center. It became like a family, family of a few. Kate, Howard, Valley, they are all the early day devotees. Kate became later on Kirtanand Swami. Howard became Haigrave Prabhu, and then Valley became Umapati Swami. Steve became Satsvarupadas Goswami. They all are later devotees like that. Nancy became Nandarani Mataji. They're all from New York. And then Who is that? Jadurani Mataji. What is the name? Joe? Not Joe, I think. So one Jadurani Mataji. So they all came in New York. They became proper disciples. Um, So it became like a family. They were very jolly. They felt something very unique experience when they came to the storefront, and they didn't want to leave that place. Some rasa, some sweetness they experienced. Why? This is the difference between the material rasa and spiritual rasa. Material rasa in this world is very frustrating because material world everybody is in the mood of grab. Huh? When you go to the spiritual center, everybody is in a mood of give. Huh? Give, give, give. Material means grab, grab, grab. Like I have seen with my own eyes in India, when people come to temple, they are in a very different mood than when they are in the other part of the world. Like in Kunjibari temple, I have seen morning after I finished my chanting, I was rolling the chatai, the mat. I saw there were other six or other eight, six mats. Everybody started rolling. Huh? You don't have to tell anybody, can you do this? They naturally feel like doing sadbhavana arises in their mind. Huh? Similarly, Prasadam Hall, we keep the buckets for serving. Immediately, five, six people come and stand and they start serving. Here, people do activity without being paid any salary. Correct or not? That's called seva. Huh? Seva means you do some service out of love for the Lord without expecting anything in return. That's called seva, isn't it? In company, what you do, we don't call it seva because if salary stops, your service will stop. Correct? Company. Then you'll switch on to another company. Whereas when you come to temple, you do service, voluntary service. Mm. And you don't mind, like in Kunjibari temple, once I was giving class in the temple, some of them were sitting outside the door, in the veranda. And some were sitting behind the veranda on the road. I mean, the road means in the Kunjibari temple, outside the temple hall. So I told those people, it's a cold winter, you all come inside, floor will be chill for you. They said, Sab Bhumi Gopal ke hai, no problem. We can sit anywhere. They said, anywhere you sit, this is all Chintamani. Yeah. It's a spiritual place. We don't mind sitting. Yeah. Even a very rich person is ready to sit even without a mat. Correct? No? When they come to temple, because they know that Krishna is the source of all riches. So the temple has a different mood. It's called Vaikuntha mood, we call it. Vaikuntha mood means everybody is in a mood of giving respect to others. They don't demand respect. And once when I was in Jaipur, Rajasthan, Radha Govind Mandir, early morning, people were all going around Pradakshina, around 3,000 people. I was at 4,000 people. So, in just about 3 rotations, Pradakshina, when I did, so many people gave so many things. Somebody is giving, Kadisakar, they are giving this rock candy. Somebody is giving bundi. Somebody is giving tilgul. Somebody is giving, one fellow is giving Mysore pak also. Yeah. No, different people are giving different items. For one fellow is giving this round white revdi, they call it. You know that? So we accept whenever they're all giving prasadam out. They're purchasing in this thing and then giving out prasad. So I was with 2 hands. You keep eating and they keep putting. Different people. But rich people, they are standing in the peripheral thing and for everybody they are giving. So 3 circles, breakfast is over. You get satisfied completely. Actually, in Tirupati also, there is full prasadam, you know that? Now we started in Pune temple also. NVCC morning, NVCC afternoon, even full prasad we distribute. So when I was a small boy, like these boys, in my native place, when I would come out of the home, there'll be a Vishnu temple. Straight, you can see. In the both sides of the road, there are houses. At the end, exactly in the middle, you will find, you can see Darshana Vishnu when you come out of the house. So as soon as we would take a bath, just come out and we will see whether the altar is open. If it is open, we will run to the temple. So like this, small boys, we were about 20 of us, 20, 25 of us. Some were little girls and some were boys. So we would go to the temple and circumambulate 3 times, offer obeisances. And it's little motivated also because we know after we do this, we'll get pongal. Well, there is a sweet pongal, there is a salt pongal. And that pujari would give big ball, hot, just now made and offered to Lord. He would put, so you take one for each hand. One sweet, one salt, and eat immediately. Everyday thing it is. Every day. So In this way, when you go to the temple, Pujari is in a mood of giving, others are in a mood of giving, everybody is in a mood of seva bhav. It's a Vaikuntha rasa, it is. And people fold their palms and wish everybody Hare Krishna, bow down to everybody. So when the hippies experienced the spiritual culture, they were deeply uh, touched by this culture. It is diametrically opposite to material culture. Material culture means everybody thinks, I am the best. Everybody else is worst. Spiritual culture means one thing, oh, there are so many great souls. I am very small. I am only das or dasi. Whereas in material culture, everybody thinks, I am boss on a boss. They think like that. Nobody wants to become das on a das. Isn't it? So this boss on a boss mentality means to control others, boss over others, lord over others. Nobody likes it. You will see, you know, if you force others, even a child doesn't like to be forced. Like they'll start crying if you force. So the material culture is so heart burning it is. In big cities, cosmopolitan cities, people don't know their neighbor also, who is their neighbor, the same colony. Everybody goes straight to their home, they live their own lives very independently. So Prabhupada created that Vaikuntha culture in that storefront. They experienced that. Uh, Mutual respect, love and trust. And we call this as a Priti Lakshanam, we call it. So, is known as Vishnujan Swami Maharaj in New York temple, when he would go to do Harinam Sankirtan, 60 devotees will go. Everybody, the kitchen devotees, Sankirtan devotees, pujaris, everybody will be out. The temple will be practically empty because he used to do very kirtan, very beautifully. And when he would do kirtan, everybody will be dancing in the streets and they will distribute prasad, distribute books and everything. When they would, after they would come back, he would allot them services and all. It became like one family. Community developed very beautifully. So, as I told you, first they got spiritual awakening, then they got the spiritual vision, and thirdly they got the Priti Lakshanam in each other's association, which gave them the greatest joy. And naturally, they felt gratitude to Srila Prabhupada like a father, who actually brought about that culture there. Correct? Huh? So, one day, some of the students observed Prabhupada. After the program was over, Prabhupada was washing the pots. So one Nancy, one of the girls, she told the other boys, hey, look at Swamiji, he's washing all the pots. Come, let's go and ask him. So they all came to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, you are washing everything. You don't have anyone else to do? Prabhupada said, I only do it. So they asked him, you are cooking prasad, you are serving us, and you are only washing also. We feel pity for you. In such a old age, you are doing everything yourself. Are we allowed to help you out? Like that she asked her. Prabhupada said, I was waiting, hoping that somebody will ask someday. So Prabhupada never forced anyone. Prabhupada said, yes, you can help. So then she washed the pot for some time. After half an hour, so all of them folded their sleeves, and then they started washing their pants and shirts. They fold the sleeves and they're washing. And she asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, can I take a cigarette break? And Prabhupada said, you are washing Krishna's pots. How can you smoke in between? That will make all these things impure. Then you won't be able to touch this. Prabhupada said, you should stop smoking. That's how they gave up all the bad habits. And then they continued helping Prabhupada. And Prabhupada gave them all. Nancy became Nandarani Mataji later on. So in this way, Prabhupada observed that they actually had gratitude for him. And the gratitude manifested as affection for him. See, when does the affection arise? When somebody sacrifices time, energy, puts sweat and toil in giving you without expecting anything in return. Just like your mother, for example, she has raised you from babyhood up to what you are now. And then you ask any mother, what do you want from me? Why are you doing all these things to me? She will say, you just be happy, that's all. We just want to see you settle in life and you be happy. Then the children develop a very deep respect and affection for such parents. Is it not true? Huh? So, in this world, any other motivated relationship, it doesn't touch the heart. Huh? Like, you you give some money and the other fellow gives you some commodity. There is no sacrifice in that. It's a business dealing. Huh? Whereas in mother service to a child, it's one way. We have been taking. We have not done anything. So we feel like doing something in return. Correct now. So they also felt gratitude and affection for him. And they felt pity for him doing everything single handedly. They said, we want to help you out. Huh? So then they asked for seva. Then Prabhupada gave many services. Huh? Jadurani Mataji Prabhupada said, you can do paintings. You are good. You're an artist. You can do painting. And Prabhupada said, Grave Prabhu, you are good in English. Huh? You can edit my books. Prabhupada opened the cupboard and showed him a cupboard full of manuscripts. He said, Swamiji, so much? Huh? This will take me my whole life, I think. Prabhupada said, many lifetimes. He said, I have enough work for you. He said. And then Prabhupada told Tamaksh Maharaj, you get Greyhound buses and go all over America and distribute books. He told Rai Ram Prabhu, print and publish these books. He told Jayananda Prabhu, build Rath carts, chariots for celebrating Rath Yatra. Like that, he gave different services. Surabhi Prabhu, he told you can make a model, the architectural model for their temples. Jamuna Mataji sang that Govinda Madi Purushanam. Shyam Sundar was a carpenter. Prabhupada told him to make altars. Lot of services. Prabhupada designed, coined services and gave them. And the more they did service, their psychophysical nature requires some activity, engagement. And if that engagement can be connected to Krishna, then you can Krishnaize your mind completely. So they all could Krishnaize their mind. And certain activities that Prabhupada designed are perennial activities. Prabhupada said in India, if somebody is an ashramite, the ashram resident would go out and beg for alms. Babadi Bhikshan Dehi, please give me Bhiksha. Because they will not accept salary, they will live only on charity. But in America, you go to your door and say, Babadi Bhiksha, they won't understand what is it. You go and ask Bhiksha. So Prabhupada said, instead of that asking Bhiksha, you go and give them books and they'll give a donation. You can accept. That way you can also, like in a Vedic life, you go and beg alms and bring. Similarly, you go and distribute books and take a donation and come. So they started doing that. So doing Harinam Sankirtan outdoor, distributing Prabhupada's books, distributing prasada, and going out and reaching out to schools, colleges, companies, homes of people, and giving Krishna consciousness. One example I'll tell you. Vishnu Swami used to put a cloth, sit with his harmonium and would do kirtan. And a lot of people would gather because his kirtan used to be very sweet. He would sing with harmonium. People would gather all around. Then he would open his eyes and look around and he would stop the kirtan and tell them, invite me to your home and I'll make your home into a temple. Like that he would tell them. Anybody would like to invite me to your home? Then when he would raise hands, he would take their contacts. He will tell them, today I'll come to your home, tomorrow I'll come to your home, tomorrow. So he'll take appointments. And evening they will go to home and the people would call their friends, other people and all. And that's how he made new devotees like that. One day one very elderly couple came. So they were very charmed, husband, wife. They were like in 75, 80 like that. So they called Vishnu Swami. They said, we have a very big house, they said. Please come. So they went to the home, did kirtan. And that owner, the elderly man told, we have not just called you to our home, we want you to stay in our home, they said. Really? They said, we have such a big house, we only stay in one of the rooms. We are both old. You can take the other side fully and you can make it into an ashram. And you can take it for ISKCON. They gifted it to ISKCON. So they made it into a mini ISKCON temple. This is how they were preaching. They were like beggars in the street. Completely no facility, no amenities, practically in the street, like nomads going from place to place, doing kirtan, wherever there is opportunity, with the only desire to gift Krishna to people. That's all. No other goal. They were not in the mood of making money. They were not in the mood of getting facilities to enjoy life. They were not in a mood of superiority complex that we are great or anything. They thought we are simply servants of God and we are servants of Sri Prabhupada. We just want to give Krishna to as many suffering souls as possible. And just as we became happy, we want to make the other suffering souls also happy. That's our only goal. Such a pure intent you can see. In the path of bhakti, intent is more important than content. You see. Hmm. Prabhupada gave them the right intent. So, and they captured the substance of Krishna consciousness from Prabhupada and they distributed that substance to the people wherever they went. And that substance is very powerful because spiritual substance it is. It's a Vaikuntha culture, which actually Prabhupada brought from the spiritual world to the material world, which they practiced, experienced, relished, and distributed. So, one of the students of Prabhupada, Mike and Jan, they got married and then they got initiated also, became Mukunda and Janaki. So they told Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, we actually belong to San Francisco and you are in New York here, so we are here. We would like to go to San Francisco and assemble some people there, gather some people, and we want to invite you there. It'd be nice if you come. Prabhupada said, why not? Do that. So there they met Sam and Marjorie, who became Shyam Sundar Prabhu and Malti Mataji later. So with their help, they gathered all the musicians and everybody. And Prabhupada went there. There were more than 50 people waiting, all giving rose to Prabhupada in the airport. Everybody. Prabhupada was very, very thrilled by the opportunity. And then Haight Ashbury Street Center started there after that. So in this way, you will see, from New York, then San Francisco, then Los Angeles, and then from San Francisco was full of grihasthas. New York was full of brahmacharis. This was all sadhus ashram and that was grihasthas more. Then he sent 3 couples to London. And then they started preaching in London and then London developed also like that. In this way, Krishna consciousness jumped from place to place. It expanded like that. So, when we are preaching also, we should remember, first of all, the sleeping souls have to be woken up by the chanting of the holy name. How do you know somebody has woken up? If somebody is spiritually awake, they will develop the enthusiasm to come for the weekly programs. They will want to sit down and hear the philosophy. Those who are not yet woken up, they come to temple once in a blue moon. They come and just maybe Janmashtami time or something, they will come. Other times, they are super busy with their business and material life and everything. They're not yet woken up, but they have a chance to wake up. When they hear the holy name, they wake up. Okay, after waking up, as I told you, when you attend the weekly programs, you get the wisdom to get vision, the spiritual vision you get. So once that vision arises, then only our outlook is going to change. Otherwise, right now, our modern education is teaching you, you are the center of the world and everything is revolving around you and you should expect that everyone will be at your beck and call. Is it really true? Are we the center, the whole world is revolving around us? What a ridiculous conception it is. Because you see the sun rises in the morning, not with our permission. The cloud showers, the sun shines, flowers blossom, fruits are ripening, crops are growing, grains are coming, spices are growing. So many things are happening. Seasons are changing, wind is blowing. Krishna says in the Bhagavatam, it's all because of my order. The nature is doing all these things. Maya Adhyakshena. So Lord is the center. He has made this beautiful world. He has given us a platform to sit. He is giving us food to eat. He is giving us air to breathe. So the very first understanding is that we are dependent on Him. We are dependent on the Supreme. And also without His mercy, we cannot survive even for one moment. So Prabhupada brought all these things in a very crystal clear manner. He said, you are the operator of your bodily machine. God is the operator of the cosmic machine. And you are dependent on the cosmic machine, which is run by God. So you have to be grateful to Him. So in this way, once the wisdom dawns in the heart, when people wake up, after that, they'll be ready to practice the spiritual culture. Because especially educated people, once the knowledge awakens, Divya Hriday Prakashito. After that, when they practice spiritual culture, then Prema Bhakti Yaha Hoite, Avidya Vinashadhyate. All the unwanted things go away, bad habits go away. huh? And Vaikuntha culture, is established. Sattva guna gives sukham and jnanam. Huh? You get knowledge, you get happiness, then you have mutual respect, love and trust, everything is established. Preeti Lakshanam can be experienced wonderfully. In that community, even if it is a small community, becomes a very happy community. Devotees become very jolly. And because what happens, the modern day society wrongly teaches you, when you are a student, academics is everything. Huh? And if you can't make it, you commit suicide. Huh? Like you see this Kota, Rajasthan, 24 children committed suicide in 1 year because they are made to think that if you don't make it, you are useless. Huh? Then after that, you go to job. In job means money is everything. Money, money, money. Money is honey. Mm. Money is money is God. People say. I told them money is not God. Money is wife of God. Like that, isn't it? Lakshmi is that Narayana's wife. Therefore, we write Shubha Labh. Huh? Shubha means Narayana. Labh means Lakshmi. Correct, no? So you should always worship Lakshmi Narayan together. When you worship Lakshmi with Krishna, with the Narayana, Lakshmi Narayan, then it is safe. It's very good. Divine couple should be worshipped together. Ravana didn't want Narayana, he only wanted Lakshmi. He wanted only Sita. Just see. So, in this way, modern day society gives a wrong perspective of life that you are the center, you know, and might is right. If others are not cooperating, stamp on their heads, get the work done, you know, and you can, if you are angry, beat up people. If you are uh, not able to do what others are doing, then loot people. You can beat or you can loot, anything you can do. So, this kind of mentality is what is making the world a crazy place. So, when Vaikuntha culture is established, people become peaceful, and you also feel security, safety, while living in a community of devotees who are properly situated devotees, well cultured devotees, very nicely trained devotees like that. And then, as I told you, affection develops. Then you want to also share that mm, knowledge, and then you want to do seva. So, this sequence of steps I told you, uh, which happens in a spiritual community over a period of time, is very easy to understand with an example. Mm. Say, for example, somebody is coming and announcing, Gulab Jamun, Gulab Jamun, Gulab Jamun. They're saying, come, I'll give you Gulab Jamun. And everybody is curious, what is the Gulab Jamun? We don't know what it is. You've never tasted it. What is it? He says, come with me, I'll give all of you. So he takes you to kitchen, makes you sit in the prasadam hall, comes and gives you everybody is getting two Gulab Jamuns, isn't it? Then you wonder, what is this new item? Because many Americans didn't know what is Gulab Jamun at that time. In Indian cuisine, they didn't know. So you take and put and pop in your mouth, then you realize what Gulab Jamun is, along with that golden liquid. How delicious it is. So when you experience it, you become jubilant. You become ecstatic. Then you ask, can I get two more? Okay, then take two more. Then you enjoy it. And immediately you feel so happy with the person who invited you for eating gulab jamun. You give an embrace to the person and say, thank you so much. You gave me this gulab jamun. And then you see your friends are also eating. They are jubilant. You are jubilant. You start dancing with them. Isn't it? Then the person who gave you gulab jamun, he says, okay, you guys are very happy. But do you want to make the other 2,000 fellows waiting outside, you want to make them happy? He says, yes. Come here, lift this big vessel. This vessel has thousands of gulab jamuns. Give everybody two or four gulab jamuns. Then you are very happy to share that happiness with others because you already got happiness. Now you want to distribute happiness. Then you do the service. And after distributing all of them, you wash the pot and everything. In the same manner, Krishna consciousness works like that. Who is Gulab Jamun? Krishna, Radha Krishna, Gulab Jamun. The divine couple. They are the utmost limit of sweetness. Krishna is called Rasa Vigraha. Prabhupada says love is the last word in transcendence. Prabhupada says pure love. So who is pure love? Srimati Radharani is personified love. There is not even a tinge of any other motivation in her heart other than service. So she is called as Radha. Where does this word come from? Anaya aradito nunam Bhagavan Haririshwaraha Yanno Vihaya Govinda. See what words are used here. Anayaradito Nunam. Radharani is one who is always doing Aradhana of Krishna. Always doing Aradhana. Aradhana, from that came Radha. Always worshipping Krishna. And whom is she worshipping? Bhagavan, the Lord with six opulences. Hari, Ishwara, who is Supreme Controller, Lord Krishna. Uh, he is the Swami, master of all the jivas, and she worships him. Janno Vihaya Govinda means what? And Krishna means all attractive. For all the jivas, he is the most attractive. But he is attracted to the devotion of Srimati Radharani. One time, Prabhupada came to one temple where Jayananda Prabhu was the temple president. And Prabhupada sat in the seat, and all the devotees surrounded him from all directions. The room became jammed. And some more devotees sat in the next room because they didn't get place in the first room. And when Prabhupada was about to begin, he picked up the kartals. And he looked around searching for somebody. He asked, where is Jayananda Prabhu? He asked. They said, Prabhupada, Jayananda Prabhu is setting up one more sound box in the next room because some devotees are not getting space here. So he is making arrangement there. He said. And then when Jayananda Prabhu came, Prabhupada was smiling at him. So one devotee said, all devotees were looking at Prabhupada and Prabhupada was looking at Jayananda. Similarly, all jivas are looking at Krishna's beauty and Krishna is attracted to Radharani's devotion. That's why she called Madan Mohana Mohini, she's called. So, Radharani is personified love and Krishna is in Tattva, the ultimate God. And we all are whose part and parcels? In 15.7, what Krishna says? Mama evamsho, evaloke, evabhuta san. For Sanatan period, all of us are part of Krishna. But in our heart resides love for Krishna, which is a part and parcel of Radharani's love. Radharani is ocean of love, and we have a drop of love. So Radharani is serving with ocean of love, oceanic love. She is rendering seva to Krishna with 64 kalas. She is the best singer, best dancer, best cook, and best mimicry performer. Best joker, best dresser, best rangoli drawer. She can do everything best. Therefore, gopis will put Radharani in the front because they know she is the one who can do best. And we have to learn those kalas from her and we can do in our small way. All the jivas are carrying little love in their heart and running here and there to do some little service in our own small way. So she awards us seva, and when we do the service, it's called as ascending service, descending mercy. We do service and offer to Srimati Radharani, and Srimati Radharani gives to Krishna and then gets mercy of Krishna and gives it to all of us. And that is where the real happiness is. The real happiness is present where you put this divine couple in the center of your life and develop love and service to them. Then you experience Vaikuntha Rasa, spiritual happiness. Like if a hand takes a laddu and tries to, hand says, why should I give it to belly? I will enjoy myself. He cannot enjoy. Even one hand cannot, serve the other hand. For example, this hand is, I will give you a laddu, you give me Mysore pak. Let us enjoy. Can they enjoy? No. Two jivas cannot enjoy each other. You know why? Because one energy cannot enjoy another energy. Only energetic can enjoy energy. Who is energetic? Krishna. Is Shaktiman. Shaktiman can enjoy his Shaktis. But one Shakti cannot enjoy another Shakti. Shaktiman only can enjoy Shakti. So therefore, all of us are meant to be enjoyed by Krishna. And what does he enjoy in us? He enjoys our seva bhav, our service attitude. So when service attitude arises in our heart, like any of you may want to sing for Krishna, you want to make a flower garland for Krishna, you want to cook for Krishna, you want to preach for Krishna's sake, you want to glorify him. So every jiva is trying their best to do little service, and Krishna is ready to accept that. And that seva bhav attracts Krishna, which is in Radharani in oceanic proportion. In us, it's in small proportion. So in this way, the community, we understand this philosophy and we practice it, then it can expand far and wide. So now I'll give you an example, analogy which I heard from Radha Gopinath Prabhu. You can try to comprehend this analogy, which is very beautiful analogy it is. The community is compared to your house, just like this house, this hall. Let us compare this hall to this devotee community. Now, the foundation of this community's hall, the foundation, that is sadhana. Uh, Sadhana includes the morning program, correct? No? Rising in the morning, doing aratis, chanting japa, attending Srimad Bhagavatam class, all those things is sadhana, which forms the foundation of our spiritual life. Because if you are going to think that prasadam is wonderful, kirtan is wonderful, but you don't take part in the morning program, without foundation, people cannot become stable in spiritual life. Spiritual life is wonderful, but you will not be able to become stable if you are doing other items, less important items, missing the most vital item. Because what happens when you chant Hare Krishna, it cleanses the impurities in our heart, especially kama, krodha, lobha, and all those things, greed, lust, and anger, and all those dirty things. Without cleansing them, we are going to quarrel with devotees out of anger. We are going to become envious of other devotees. We will say that why that devotee's name was announced, my name was not announced. Why always that devotee is given importance and not me? Or somebody is doing better than me, I become envious. Somebody is doing inferior to me, I become proud. Or sometimes with nicely performing devotees, we go and quarrel. So Kali creates quarrel amongst devotees. So we have to make sure that we get up early in the morning and we do the aratis and we chant Hare Krishna, cleanse our mind. And also we have to follow the four regulative principles. Actually, by following four regs, we will lose the propensity for sense enjoyment. Not only you will give up sense enjoyment, you will lose the taste for sense enjoyment by following four regs strictly. You understand the difference? See, losing taste is far superior than just giving up. Say, for example, a diabetes patient is told by a doctor, you should not eat sweet. He has given up sweet. Has he lost the taste for eating sweet? No. He is angry with the doctor. He's not allowing me to eat sweet. Yeah, he's still having that hankering. Whereas one who has given it up, like some of you sitting here, you might have been eating meat before. Now you've given up meat after coming to Krishna consciousness. And I asked the boys, how many of you till last breath you will never touch meat in your life? Then they all raised hand, many of them. So they were eating meat. Now they will not touch meat at all. That means they've lost the taste for it. You understand the difference? So following four regs makes you lose taste for, dirty things. And chanting the holy name destroys the material, attachments and material allurements, attraction for glitter and glamour, and you become very simple. Chanting holy name purifies the mind. It makes it very calm, cool, collected, and focused, like that. And hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu. In the Bhagavatam itself, there is one verse which says, Yasyam vai shruyamanayam Krishne paramapurushe bhakti rutpadyate pumsam shoka moha bhaya apaha, it says. Shoka is lamentation of the past, illusion of the present, fear of the future. Fear of the future means, oh, what if I get fail marks? Or what if the company lays me off? What if? That is future. And past means, if only I got little more marks. Or if only I got a job with a little higher pay and perks. If only means you brood over the past. And what if means you worry about the future. All this will be gone when you hear Srimad Bhagavatam, he says. Fears will be gone, hankering will be gone. Mind will again become like a very cool and calm place it is. So the morning program forms the foundation. Out of the morning program, two are very important. Okay, out of the morning program, Bhagavatam hearing and chanting are most important. Aratis are all secondary. But out of the Bhagavatam and chanting, which is more important? Chanting. Chanting is top priority. That cannot be compromised. Even our students with examination day also, they will complete the chanting. Other things they may compromise, but chanting is very vital. So one devotee came to Radha Gopinath Prabhu and cried, Prabhu, evening every day I have 10 rounds left. I am not able to complete. He asked him why. So he said, morning I get up, I do Mangalarti, Narsingarti, Tulasi Arti, Shadugoswami Ashtakam, I do Brahma Samhita, you know. Like that he was listing all these different things. So Prabhu said, who told you to do all these things? He said, in temple only I learned all this, he said, all this you push it to the evening if you want to do. Morning, what do you do? Begin with chanting, he said. After that, other things are secondary. So, chanting Hare Krishna nicely and hearing Bhagavatam at least half an hour daily. And then when one does that, then the foundation of the house is established. And then, mm, uh, what are the walls of the house? The four walls of the house are the Priti Lakshana. Yeah. What is Priti Lakshana? Loving relationship between the people. For example, the four walls of the house prevents you from cold winds. Is it not true? It also, prevents you from any risk or danger. Like we build the walls and we have a door which we lock so that dog or other creatures cannot come inside. Correct, no? And thieves cannot come inside and loot the property. It's a protective thing also. Similarly, in a community, the Priti Lakshanam is very protective. You know one another. You have affection for some devotee. That affection keeps you in the community. Huh? Because without affection, you will see even if prasad is good, even if kirtan is good, if you quarrel with all devotees, you don't feel very happy. After some time, people like that, they leave and go away because they fight with practically everybody. But when there is a very loving relationship, then it is very, then you look forward to coming. Oh, if I come to this program, I can meet this family, that family. You get friendships here. And the friendships are very soothing and very relishable. So we need Priti Lakshana, which is like the four walls, and the foundation sadhana individually and collectively doing that sadhana. That is foundation. And the windows and the doors of the house, what are they? They are Jivadaya. Jivadaya means they are actually compassionate preaching for the suffering souls outside. Somebody is walking in the road, they see through the window, nice kirtan is going on inside. Hey, looks very interesting. Let me go inside. They come in and they become devotees. Correct, no? Hmm? Similarly, the doors also, doors are for coming in, windows are for getting access. So, in this way, the new people are given entry also into the community. And people in a community, will they go out? Like, for example, imagine birds are living in a tree which is filled with colorful, delicious fruits. Do you think they will leave the tree? Yes, they will leave the tree to bring more birds also there. Number of birds will increase. That way, the community keeps building more and more, keeps increasing more and more. And the floor of the house is what? It is seva, seva opportunity. You see, sometimes you may not be in touch with the wall, sometimes you may not be in touch with the ceiling, but you will always be in touch with floor. Which means sometimes you may not be with devotees surrounding you, you are alone. And the roof, I didn't tell you, roof is a shelter of a senior. Senior devotee shelter, counselor, seniors, their shelter is the roof. And they are preventing us from, like there is heavy rains or heat of the sun or thunderbolt in the sky. The roof is preventing you from all that. Similarly, the senior devotees offer you a safe shelter. You get many doubts sometimes. You sometimes get into interpersonal clashes. Or sometimes uh, you have imbalance in life between material and spiritual. Sometimes. So for all that, they are protecting you by being the roof. So sometimes you are not in touch with the roof or touch with the walls, which is Priti Lakshanam. You are alone. But you are always in touch with the floor, which is seva is always there. Whether you are in remote place or whether you are here, because even in a remote place, you can distribute Prabhupada books. You can cook and offer bhoga to Krishna. You can make a garland and offer. Like my mom, when she was in South India, she was very fond of coming to Pune. She would tell me that please tell your father that we'll pack up everything and we'll go to Pune. Because she saw the Radha Vandam Chandra photo. She wanted a bigger size. I gave her a bigger one. And every day she would make garland and offer. New garland she would offer. She developed a great affection. And she wanted to see the deities personally and want to come to Pune. So when I told my father, Mom wants to come to Pune, so can you relocate to Pune? So he told me, you take mom with you, no problem. She can be in Pune. I will be here only. And she would never come. She would say that only if he comes, I will come. Otherwise, I won't. So many years. So because she was developing fondness to see the Lord, and she used to tell me, see, if I come to Pune, morning, evening, I'll be in temple only. I would like to attend darshan. She was very fond of bhajan, kirtan. Wherever katha was going on, she would take us also. So he was not willing to come at that time. Later on, when he became very old, then he agreed to come. Then they came. So, but the reason I told you this example is, although she was not under anybody, nobody was training her. On her own, she grew some flowers in the garden, and she would pluck the flowers and make a garland and daily offer to Radha Vrindavan Chandra at home. Now, who is going to see that? Except Vrindavan Chandra, nobody is seeing that. Correct, no? She was offering. And because she was developing the fondness, Vrindavan Chandra gave her an opportunity to come later. Morning, she would come to Mangalarti and just stick on in front of the deity darshan and standing there hours together. So, in this way, the floor is privilege for us. What is privilege? The seva opportunity. Hmm? We should always be thinking that I am only a servant. I am a das or I am a dasi. That's my only identity. And that identity never changes. We should always think. We should never think I have become master now. Like just because you have become senior over the period of years, it's not that suddenly we have two extra hands or something. We are always servant only. So now again we'll revise. What is the foundation I told you? Uh, uh, Individual and collective sadhana. Sadhana should be performed strictly, punctually. Then it is very powerful. Radha Gopinath was telling, in Radha Gopinath temple, they were so strict in the early days. The shank would blow 3 times. Oh, oh. Before the third shank, your both legs should be inside the temple hall. You know, otherwise you have to write Mahamantra 108 times. You know, so he was telling that brahmacharis would be putting tilak. Sometimes they got a little late, 4:10 or 4:05. They would take a bath wearing dhoti, and then they would hear the first blowing of the conch shell. Tata, tata, tata. Everybody would be running, carrying kurta in their hands. You wear on the way and you run. So he said one day he had gone to Belgaum, and Belgaum morning he took a bath and he was putting tilak. It was only actually 4:20 only. But he heard the shank blowing. Oh, he heard the sound. He was shocked, my lord. I am not yet fully dressed. He was also there also he was running. Then someone told him, Prabhuji, this is not shank, this is train. We have a railway station nearby. Train made the noise. Train makes such noise every 10 minutes you will hear that. So the point is, actually later on he was laughing, he was telling that strictness was good. We didn't become slack. When there is no punctuality, we take everything casually. Correct, no? Similarly, offering bhoga to Lord should be done on time. For example, every day you offer at 7 o'clock. And then all of you pack your breakfast or whatever at 7:15 or 7:20. Not that you keep it at 7:15 and Prabhuji has to go to office, children have to go to school. Some people keep the bhoga and immediately take it out. Lord will be wondering, where is the plate? Just now I saw it here. These guys showed it and took it away. Isn't it? So, therefore, we need punctuality. Punctuality in offering bhoga, punctuality in arati, punctuality in chanting. Good habits we will cultivate by that. And in this way, that is foundation, sadhana. And then what are the walls I told you? What are the 6 Pritilaksham? You all know that? Dadati pratigrahanati guhyamakyati pritchati bhunkte bhojayate chaiva shadvedam priti lakshanam. I learned this. Giving gifts to devotees, accepting gifts, inviting devotees to your home and giving them prasad. And you go to their home and accept prasad. Sometimes some couples call 2-3 couples to their home. They call as many as they can handle. If you call too many, you may not be able to cook so much. So call few 3-4 couples to your home, cook prasad. Then Matajis amongst themselves they come and discuss, and then Prabhujis come and discuss. Sometimes they get to meet each other, talk to each other, do some Vaishnava song, read some section and discuss. And then they become close friends over a period of time. Similarly, counselors also go to the counselees' homes. They visit different places. And then so by giving prasad and accepting prasad, relationship becomes more thicker. In this way, and also Guhyamakadi Prichati, revealing mind in confidence and taking experience of other devotees. How do you manage your material and spiritual? I'm finding it very difficult. Or how do you raise your children so nicely? Or how do you cope with your office and home? Or how do you take care of your morning program? When night it gets late for us, how do you take care of your chanting? So asking those devotees who are stably fixed up devotees and taking their experience, then the preeti for them develops. Loving affection develops like that. Friendliness develops between devotees. My Guru Maharaj was once telling brahmacharis, when you chant together, when you dance together, when you take prasadam together, attend Bhagavatam classes together, render seva together, the affection increases by that. So, Krishna and Sudama were friends, is it not true? They came together and they became thick friends by serving together. So that is walls. And what are the windows and door? They were there preaching, compassionate preaching to invite more people. So when you open the windows, then you give access to others to hear the holy name. So they also come, and the doors are open, then more may come. Like Prabhupada said in Nigeria. So devotees had kept the door closed and they were doing kirtan inside. Prabhupada said, why? Keep open the door as fully as possible, he said. And all the fellows, Nigerians walking on the road, they saw, hey, these guys are dancing so nicely. They all came in. Huh? Within a week, Prabhupada could gather 100 Nigerians. I mean, and Prabhupada, Nairobians. And and Prabhupada spoke to them in English and they translated in Swahili language. Prabhupada said, see, how many localites are interested, you can see. So the door and window represents preaching and bringing people, giving out holy name and books and everything and bringing people. And what about the floor I told you? Seva opportunity. And what is the roof? Shelter of advanced devotees, seniors. So this is a community. One last point, concluding point I want to make about community. In the beginning, when you come in a community, everybody is very simple, innocent, not yet initiated. They are chanting 8 rounds, 4 rounds, and things like that. So wherever they turn around, they look at devotees. Everybody looks like a pure devotee for them. There's one chocolate. For everyone and everything, they offer obeisances. I've seen in Radha Govinda temple one man offered obeisance to Prabhupada, that's correct. And then this side, east side, west side, north side, south side, every side is offering obeisances. So they're very respectful to everybody in the beginning. But after you come to 16 rounds, then you become initiated. Then you're grown over 3, 4, 5 years. Sometimes what happens at that stage, people start getting to know each other closely. When you come close to devotees, you also get to see their faults also. Correct now? Earlier you were thinking they are pure devotees. Now you know they are definitely not pure devotees because they have some faults. You think that, oh, this devotee is like this, that devotee is like that. This devotee is not punctual in service. That devotee escaped service. And this devotee is an angry devotee. That devotee is a slow devotee and things like that. So then we start seeing, observing faults in the devotees around. So this is one very big problem, fault finding in devotees. How to avoid this? Think of devotees like moons. Moon has black marks. Still the moon can give light. Correct or not? Stars don't give light so much, but moon gives light for everybody to see on the road. So even with pock marks, it gives light. Similarly, Vaishnavas with defects also, they have good qualities with which they are attracting new people. So we should respect Vaishnavas even with some deficiencies. Because they are in the right process, they are chanting the holy name. And we all have accumulated deficiencies in millions of lifetimes. We should know they have deficiency, even I have deficiency. We should think like that. Everybody is deficient and we are all coming out of it slowly. Let us be sympathetic to each other, be forgiving and friendly, and not delight in pointing faults in others. Rather, you just ignore the faults and you see the sunny side of people, brighter side of people, and appreciate. This is one first thing we should learn. Another thing that happens is sometimes a competition comes, like Kunjaberi temple in those days. There was one Mataji who started children program, and she was the only one doing very wonderfully. Everything was peaceful. Now, as the community grew, three, four Matajis came, and they were also talented. They wanted to do children program also. So I was very young and new. Well, as a new president, I said, all of you Matajis, your ideas, all of you come together and do, you know, share ideas with each other and you all can do together. But little did I know that it is not easy to bring together. Huh? It was like explosive, correct? No? Huh? Bringing together because everybody is uniquely created by Krishna. They have different talents. At last, I came up with one program where one Mataji was very good in making, teaching pots, painting on pots, that kind of activity. She was very expert in that. Another Mataji was very good in teaching shlokas and other things. There's one Mataji was very good in teaching Krishna stories and involving the children very well. So I told four of them, I told all of you put up a big camp together, like 70, 80 children came. Huh? And you all teach what you are specialized at. You don't have to, you know. And they asked, who is the boss? I said, all four of your boss. you do your own thing. Huh? You teach for children. And make sure you complete your task within the time so that the other teacher will get time. Huh? Don't take away all the time. And they shared and did it, came out very well. So we have to be very careful in the communities because sometimes comparisons will happen. Huh? When people make comparison, one Mataji may think, I am better than that Mataji. One Prabhuji may think, I am better than that Prabhuji. So this kind of competitions may come as number of devotees swell up as they increase. Limited services and more devotees, when it happens like that, then there can be competition. So what to do when there is competition? We should know we don't want to compete. This is called competition. And instead of competing, we should complement. This is compliment. Compliment means everybody is unique. You see, this is a challenging finger, this is the indicating finger, the tall finger, ring finger, like that. So when all of them come together, diverse talented people come together, then you get power. Correct, no? We don't have to clone everybody to be, similar. Imagine the whole world is full of only engineers. There are no doctors. Then which hospital will you go to? Isn't it? World requires accountants. World requires doctors, engineers, everybody, isn't it? Similarly, in the community also, we should have diverse, talented people, and we should respect each other's talent. Hmm. Like there was one Satyabhama Mataji. She asked Rukmini Mataji, Mataji, you know, do you know how many hours they take to make this garland? She said, I don't know. She said, 2 hours I finished this garland. How long will it take for you? She said, oh, Mataji, I will take 6 hours to do. Useless. See, you take so much time. I can do it in 2 hours. And their counselor, Radhika Mataji, came and said, hey, Satyabhamaji, wait a minute. Do you know Rukmini cooks Rajabhog for the deities? Can you cook Rajabhog? Satyabhamaji said, Mataji, I am not so good at cooking. You see. I can cook household things, but in temple cooking is hi-fi cooking. Huh? Very finely what to make for the Lord, I don't know that. So then she told, you see, if you make a competition between a dog and a horse, if you keep a running competition, who will come first? Horse. If you keep a barking competition, who will come first? Yeah. So you are good at, garland making and she is good at cooking. Why do you compare these two? You appreciate her cooking and she can appreciate your garland making. Don't make her do things which is not natural for her. Huh? So we have to give up this comparison, unhealthy comparisons. And we should always appreciate everyone else's service. Huh? Everybody is trying to do some seva. Don't think my service is best service. Or don't think that I am the best in this service and nobody else can do like me. These are all passionate devotional service. Huh? So in this way, avoid fault finding, avoid unhealthy comparisons. Always mind your talk. Observe your speech. Observe the way your mind is flowing. Unhealthy comparison is like a cancer. One should avoid that. And also another thing, specialist. is another big curse. There was one family in one small community. This family was sponsoring Balram Jayanti Prasadam every year. So they did for almost 8 years. They did. In the ninth year, three, four people came forward. They wanted to give for Prasadam sponsorship. So the temple president told this family, see, you have been doing for so many years. Now you can do for another festival. We will give this chance to other people. One more person wants to do on this day. So this family was telling, no, 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 ये हमारे नाम में ही होना चाहिए. Because so many years we have a record, track record that 8 years we have done. We want to do for 25 years and put a silver jubilee. you know. So the president said, you see, you have done so many years, it's good. Now you are a senior devotee also. That's a new person wants to sponsor now. He's not even chanting. You are chanting 16 now. So you should be like Jambavan. Jambavan empowered whom? Hanuman. Did Jambavan tell Hanuman, hey, Hanuman, chotu, bait jao. Now I will go to Lanka and I will find Sita and come. Did he say that? So one who has grown in seniority, they should encourage juniors to come up, not suppress the juniors. You should not fear that if juniors come up, mera kya hoga? That fear should not come. By allowing juniors to blossom, taking up services, your respectability will also increase because you are only empowering them. Everybody will feel happy with you also. So don't try to be a specialist in a field and don't suppress the growing juniors in the community. By encouraging juniors to come up like Jambavan, you become more glorious by that. Not that people think you are important, you are incapable or something. So that is one of the signs of a growing devotee. Growing devotee appreciates younger devotees and inspires them by making them feel good, like that. And last thing, in a community, we should not allow quarrel to happen between devotees. Why? Because the quarrel is symptom of Kali Yuga. There are two symptoms of Kali Yuga. What are they? Hypocrisy and quarrel. Individually, people can become hypocritical. Collectively, they can quarrel. These two items should be shot down. If any time you are having a quarrel with the devotee, what you should do? You should put your hand on the shoulder of the devotee and say, I don't have a quarrel with you. We both have a common problem with Kali. Kali has entered. Shoot down Kali now. So that's what we should do. Because where Kali enters, that's where quarrel comes. The meaning of the word Kali itself is quarrel. So devotees are respectable, devotees are adorable, devotees are worshipable, and we should not quarrel with them. So whenever quarrel, some tendency comes, we should go to your senior and say, please help us resolve this so that the quarrel will not spoil our relationships. So, and Kali is very deadly because this is Kali's Brahmastra, creating quarrel between devotees. Because Prabhupada said, when you put sticks together, nobody can break it. When you separate the sticks, it's easy to break it. Similarly, we'll see that Matajis are very simple in the beginning. When they come together, they are very friendly and respectful, praising one another. When they become more senior, more years, more skilled, and then they preach, this Mataji is her girls, and that other Mataji is her girls. And then they look like that. You see, that's very bad. Same with men also. Men. And I am heading the festival committee. I am heading. Somebody thinks. Another person thinks, you are heading some small festival committee. I am heading Janmashtami committee, which is the biggest festival of the year. And they may also see like that. Of course, they don't have mustache after they become devotee. That is the internal mustache, which is false ego, correct? No? So, this, actually, I've seen children are very simple. But when they grow up, they become naughty, correct? No? I have seen it. When we were small children, I saw when one child went to somebody's neighbor's house and picked up a biscuit, snatched it from his hand, and that child snatched back, and they were having a quarrel. And that boy with the biscuit packet, he started crying, and like they started crying. Mother came and said, how can you snatch biscuit from my child? She pinched that child. Then child's mother came. And both the ladies started doing Bhadrakali Tandav. Like that. yelling and shouting. And both these children didn't understand why are they fighting so much. So it was a rainy day. Later on, I was watching both these children. They made a paper boat and they sat together and they were sending paper boat in the water. And they are putting hands in each other's shoulder and friendly enjoying. And for those two kids, they are fighting. And the two kids are wondering why are they fighting so much. That means the big people make small mole into a mountain. They make small issues into very big issues. But children, they may quarrel today and tomorrow they are together. You'll see that. So therefore, in a community, we should decide that quarreling is not of any use. Rather, it strains the relationships. It weakens our spiritual strength also. And it turns us away from devotees. And it creates unpleasantness. And tomorrow we can't see each other's face, each other's eyes, we cannot see tomorrow. So I decided in my life that even if somebody wants to be enemy with me, I will not be enemy with anybody. I have told devotees, there are certain people, who tried to strain relationship with me. I told them, see, you can strain, but I will never strain. My doors are always open for you. If you are uneasy with me, you may go, but I will never close my doors for you. We can always, that way what happens, we are not crossing with any living entity. At the time of death, this will be checked. If you maintain any grudges towards any living being, you have to be born again to clear that account. But if you clear the account now itself, remain like a child, innocent child, be friendly with everybody. What is that verse? Punascha bhuyat bhagavatyanante ratim prasankascha tadashrayeshu mahatsuyamyam upayami srishtim sarvatra maitrastu namo dvijebhyah. Parikshit is saying, my dear Lord, sarvatra maitriyastu. Let me be friendly with all general living entities. And especially let me develop loving relationship with devotees. And let me awaken love for God, he's saying. So love for God and friendly relation with devotees, association of devotees, and friendly relationship with all other creatures also, he's saying. So let us avoid our belligerent nature or quarrelsome nature and be friendly with all. Be simple. Because life is temporary, time is precious, our life is short. Our body may run out of fuel anytime. We have to quit this body and go to the next destination. Why fight? Fight for what? Nothing makes sense fighting because we are not going to hold on to anything. We are going to leave behind everything and go. Our relationship is with Krishna and the devotees. So devotees are our real wealth, and we should stay united with devotees. So in this way, a community, by carefully avoiding these evils, a community can be a very, very happy community. And also we can trust the devotees. Don't be always suspicious, and don't always suspicious about the intentions of others. Trust the devotees and try to deal with them in a very innocent and simple manner. His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, once he told me that if somebody sends a chit, he said, whose chit is this? He asked. I said, Maharaj, name is not written. Then how can I answer? He asked. Maharaj, you just give answer in the mic, that fellow will get the answer. Maharaj said, it will be nice to know who asked this question. Then I announced in the mic, get that fellow, and one fellow raised the hand. And Maharaj looked at him and he gave the answer. And are you satisfied? He was asking. So you will see they are so personal and so innocent. You will see that. His Holiness Bhakticharu Maharaj also, he used to conduct seminars in Calcutta. Many couples had questions, they would send him. Along with the name also, he would tell them, 11 o'clock he would start the seminar. It's like 11 to 2, evening 4 to 7. So 11 to 12 he does kirtan. And 12 to 1 he speaks. And then 1 to 2 question answer. Sharanagati seminar he would do. So question answer, whichever couple asks question, they have to stand up. Husband, wife, they will stand up together. And Maharaj will read the question and then he'll give the answer to them. So does my answer satisfy you? Or you have any further questions? He will ask. He'll say, Maharaj, thank you very much. Then they will say, then next one by one he will take like that. They are very personal and very innocent. And if you tell them something, they take you seriously also. They trust you. Like many of us, we tell a person, oh Prabhu, you are a great devotee, but we don't mean it. You correct or not? Like one fellow came to me and said, Prabhuji, you are Shuddha Bhakta, Prabhuji. He said, hey, Shuddha Bhakta, you know what is Shuddha Bhakta? It's not a small word. It's a very soft word. Then he said, I say bola Prabhuji maine. you know, you know, people just they can speak 100 lies in 1 minute. you know. So therefore our chanting also is pathetic. Because we just chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, and then we do so many other things with that. So we have to learn from Mahatma devotees how to be truthful in our speech and truthful in our emotions. If our thought, our word, and deed are in one line, then we are human beings of integrity. Correct, no? That is true integrity. So people with very high integrity can make a very good community when they come together, keeping Krishna in the center, Prabhupada in the center, for the pleasure of Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. And beautiful community can come. So very soon you all are getting a piece of land. You will come up with a temple model, and you will raise funds and put up the temple. When Lord is pleased with the attitude of all the devotees, then it is the Lord who, out of his pleasure, he agrees to manifest. That is said in the verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita hrit saroja ase shruti kshitapato nanunata pumsam yadyadhiyata urgaya vibhavayanti tattat vapu pranayase sadanugrahaya. When Lord is pleased, he says, I will manifest in that place. So that time period has come now. Very soon the Lordships will manifest in the new property when it comes. And your preparation for making your community a very beautiful community uh, is important. And in that respect only, I spoke these things today. The principles of a very good quality community. We have to go from Kanishta Adhikari stage to Madhyam Adhikari. So in Madhyam Adhikari level, the dealings between devotees is very fine and sensitive and respectful, and trustworthy dealings. Madhyam Adhikari community is a very happy community. Kanishta community is a quarrelsome community and a pain-producing community. It's like a material ball. So, and I think this community is more than 7 years, I think, right? 7, 8 years? How many years? Around 8 years, yeah. Around 8 years, yeah. So you all have been, many of you here might have been from the very early days. So you got a good counselor, Anantashesh Prabhu and Sundari Mataji, and you had a senior brahmachari like Madan Sundar Prabhu guiding this community. And Madan Sundar Prabhu is very, very organized and systematic in his approach. And he has got because he studied in Ohio State University, Columbus, he has the experience of being abroad. He has dealt with Westerners. So he is very sensitive. He knows how to deal with things, and also is very organized in his approach, in organizing the courses and bringing the people to the point of becoming committed and entering into the community. And he is very highly empowering. Many Prabhujis, Matajis are having reading groups, study groups, and Anantesh Prabhu and Sundari Mataji, they put up many seminars for all of you, and also personalized attention they are giving you all. So one brahmachari and one grahastha couple, they make the best community, which you all have here in this community. Now around the brahmachari, some more brahmacharis will join. Similarly, around the grahastha couple, many more mature couples will come eventually, and the number of counselors will also multiply. It will increase as the community becomes bigger. Similarly, number of brahmacharis increase more, they will take up more responsibility. If this community becomes a community of 400 people or 500 people, and beyond that, it would be ideal that another brahmachari and agrahastha couple, they move to another location and they start another community. Because the communities which have 300 to 400 people are beautiful communities, and they can be very nicely aligned, and they can go on for decades peacefully. But when it increases beyond 500, 800,000, then multiple ideologies creep in. Differences in opinion and heavy duty management. Like NVCC, we are spending 95 lakhs per month expenditure. Can you imagine? Now, Kunjibari temple is also 25, 30 lakhs per month. So, if you have a mini project, manageable project with 300 to 500 people, it will be a good community. And I don't say you have to limit yourself. You grow more, but grow in such a way that you multiply similar communities. Like from here, you can start 3 more, 4 more, 5 more communities. You know the areas around, correct? No? You can grow like that, because then there'll be deeper penetration also. And people in those areas will get opportunity to do deity seva and temple service. And by the time you will have more grown up grihasthas, grown up brahmacharis. That's what I am telling Karadi also and Karnataka Prabhu also. But if you go for a very big temple like NVCC, then maintenance would be huge also. Correct, no? So we would like to have 50 temples in Pune like this. Multiple places, deeper penetration, very nice attention to individuals. Then it would be a very beautiful community. So thank you all very much for your patient listening. I spoke at very great length. But I spoke keeping in mind that you are all at the verge of blossoming into a beautiful temple community. And I offer my very sincere prayers at the lotus feet of Shri Radha Vandam Chandra, Shri Radha Kunjabihari. Thank you very much. Prabhupada ki. I can take one question, 5 minutes, and then I can go after that. Because I have early morning.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu has to leave early in the morning, so we'll not have an extended question. Has been exhausting day. So anyone has, we can take one question if somebody has. You may raise your hand. I have the veto power to pick up. Okay, so we have one hand up over here, so I'll go with Kamalan. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for this wonderful session. While you were addressing various elements for community building, some question came in my mind, so I'll ask just one. For few people, their service attitude increases as they progress in Krishna consciousness.
Correct.
But many times, or I would say most of the times, it happens that during the initial phase of Krishna consciousness, very, very enthusiastic for offering or rendering services. But gradually, when we progress, sometimes some laziness, lethargy enters, and we are not able to render that amount of service with the same level of enthusiasm. So how we can take care
And
of
there are
this?
various reasons for that. Say, for example, over the years, some family got a small baby at home. Then the lady has to, but children need a lot of attention, at least up to the age of 3 or 4. And we have to be sympathetic to such families. Because not only the wife has to do, even husband has to do babysitting many times. Their whole attention goes to raising the child. That could be one of the reason. Another reason, sometimes the man's job becomes extremely demanding. Instead of working 8 10 hours, he has to work 14 hours. Otherwise, the company says we will lay you off, and the boss is demanding too much. So either professionally demanding or their family demands sometimes come up. In some families, the father or mother suddenly got a stroke or something, or they got some Alzheimer, or they got cancer or something. They have to be taken for chemo and all that. Then whole attention goes to elderly people like that. So what I would suggest is, if we find that some devotees are reluctant to take services now, or they are becoming less enthusiastic, we can pay a little closer attention and find out what is the reason. Is there something that is holding them, or nothing is holding them except their own comfort zone, lethargy? That is also possible. So we can have classes to inspire them to take up more. At the same time, you will find that there are some people who are super enthusiastic. 80-20 we call it. 20% is super enthusiastic. They are self-motivated all the time. And they are the ones we catch also often. They are the ones we engage. The other 80% category, there are also different types of people. As I told you, somebody's reason may be genuine. Then we have to be sympathetic to them. If it is not genuine, then we can call and tell them, see, Prabhu or Mataji, you are here for so many years. If you set a good example, many others will also follow. One-on-one, we can politely try to inspire them. Or we can ask them, if you don't like this service, would you like to do some other service? Maybe you don't like this, you want to do that. Sometimes what we do, we give them a service which even if they don't do also no problem. That type of service you can give. Don't give a responsible service which they may not do. Actually, this is a question very common in many communities. Over the years, some people, initially they were very super enthused and they go back. They just come for the program and they go away. They don't contribute much. So, because different people are of different nature. So, and different people have different difficulties at different times. It would be nice to have plenty of devotees who are putting their hands together and doing a lot of hard work to grow a community. Uh, so what we do, we generally take our community members list and we find out who is having what potential. Somebody can donate and say that I can only donate, don't involve me in any services. Some people say I can only serve, I can't donate much. Some people will say, oh, I have ample of time the coming 2 years, I can lead some services also. And there are some people who may start even new programs and bring a lot of people. There are different types of devotees, but we cannot put all of them in same box. Everybody is of different nature, differently skilled and talented, right? One more question again. Anybody else? Yeah.
If anyone has any question, they can ask.
There is one hand up there.
Hare Krishna. Hello. Hi. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for your inspiring and wonderful class. Dandot Pranam, Prabhuji. By your mercy and prayers, I came to Pune, Prabhuji. Previously, I was part of 15 years before. Prabhuji, I am struggling with chanting holy name for last 1.5 years. I was attentive, but I don't know what is the root cause. I really want to improve. Please help me out.
Good. The desire to improve is good. I'll suggest you one 3-part series lecture you can try to hear. You just put Vandanam, Vandanam, Radheshyam Das you put. So the title of the lecture is Prayers How to Offer. That's a title. I spoke it based on the book Living Name by His Holiness Sachindan Swami Maharaj. So this talk very systematically develops about what are the reasons for why we are not able to concentrate and how to open the body door, mind door and heart door. So you can hear the 3-part series. To capture this 3-part series, you put the word Vandanam. Vandanam Radheshyam Das you put in YouTube. You'll get it, okay? Part 1, 2, 3. That will clear many of your questions about chanting.
Thank you so much.
Srila Prabhupada ki